The Mirage Passport 12 comes factory equipped with an 8-inch twist and seal hatch in the cockpit just in front of the seat, but we've made it really easy to add additional hatches in the bow and the stern, or upgrade the center hatch to a rectangular twist and seal hatch. This bow hatch I'm doing to give me, number one, an extra access point for installations. It also opens up this bow area of the hull for me to stuff gear into, and it acts as a storage point. What I'm getting out of adding a rectangular twist and seal hatch in place of the original 8-inch round hatch in the center of the cockpit is a larger storage area. This hatch will take a deep rectangular gear bucket, which I like to stash all my tackle for the day in. It also serves as a bigger opening for larger dry bags and things to go inside the hull. Not to mention that rectangular hatch has a molded mesh pocket on the underside of the hatch lid. This is perfect for stashing things that you need close at hand while you're on the water. This third hatch in the rear cargo deck opens up a third access point to the internal hull storage of the Passport. I can also rest a 12-volt battery holder in the lip of the hatch or drop in a deep gear bucket. Adding the hatch in the rear cargo deck is required to access the through-bolt hardware for your power pole mounting bracket if you choose to install one there. To replace the center round hatch with the rectangular twist and seal hatch, start by removing all the screws and taking away this hatch in the center of the cockpit. Hang on to all the hardware, the gasket and the backing ring for this hatch, because you can install it up in the bow or in the stern if you choose to put a round hatch in either one of those locations. This is the backing ring that will go inside the hull for the rectangular hatch installation. You're going to use that as the template for cutting the hatch opening. So turn that backing ring flat side down onto the deck and center it over the opening for the 8-inch round hatch. Go ahead and take a marker and trace the inside profile of the hatch, ignoring the notches that are built into the corners. Once you've got your profile mapped out, you're ready to make your cuts. There are some foam blocks inside the hull just to either side of where you're gonna cut the outline for the hatch. Those are positive flotation and meant to stay inside the kayak, so you don't need to remove those at all. These internal foam blocks are placed strategically right under the standing pads in the cockpit, so they provide a little bit of stiffness to the deck. Using a jigsaw, I'm gonna cut just along the outside edge of this profile that I traced onto the deck. I'm gonna drop it in just to make sure that it fits. And so we've got a good fit here. I don't need to do any additional trimming. If you've cut the hole and there's some areas where you need to take some material away, an orbital sander works great for that, so you don't take too much material away. First step is to go ahead and insert the backing ring into the hole and pull it up against the deck there. Notice that between the hatch and the deck, there is a foam gasket. Be sure that that's in place. This is gonna help seal the hole from any water entering inside. Go ahead and lay the hatch in the opening with the twist and seal handle oriented to face toward the seat. I'm going to use one of these number 10 flathead screws that comes in the kit. I'm going to put one in each corner first, and then I'm going to come around to the rest of the holes on the perimeter and fasten the backing ring to the hatch. Starting with the drill on a medium clutch, this Makita drill is set on a 5 out of 16. So I don't want to over thread going into the plastic. The light clutch will help prevent that. Hold the backing ring up snug against the base of the hatch as you're installing the first screw here. I'm going to do the screw on the opposite corner now. Again, snugging the backing ring up against the base of the hatch. Once you've got all the fasteners in place around the perimeter of the hatch, you're ready to install the 2 EVA hatch edge covers. Notice there's a 90-degree edge here on the port and the starboard side of the hatch. So we're just going to take the backing off of one of these EVA strips and make sure that this material is clean and dry so that the adhesive can do its job. Center it up on the edge of the hatch, and you're going to butt it right up against that 90-degree straight edge on the hatch. And press that down. This is going to give the hatch edge a nice comfortable taper for standing. I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. First step in installing the 8-inch round twist and seal hatch in the bow here for me is going to be removing this crisscross bungee. You see it's laced through the pad eyes up here at the bow, so I'm going to have to untie the terminal end of this. And if you're having a little bit of trouble untying it, you might want to use a pair of needle nose pliers to help you out. Just like the rectangular hatch, use the backing ring as your cut template. Center it on that raised molded footprint for the round hatch up here in the bow, and holding it in place, trace the inside profile of the backing ring. Just like with the rectangular hatch, we're going to cut just on the outside of the perimeter. To help make my cut easier with the jigsaw, I'm going to first create a hole with, this is a 2-inch hole saw. It doesn't have to be that big, but it helps me get my cut started. Now that I'm finished cutting out the profile for the 8-inch round hatch to drop in, I'm just going to check the fit. And again, we've got a gasket between the hatch and the bow deck up here. So my hatch fits great. I'm going to take that out. I know I don't need to do any more cutting. I'm going to take the backing ring and compress it just a little bit to get it inside the hole. Next, lay the hatch in the hatch opening, and you can kind of use this, this screw hole here aligned with where this sail mast port comes to a peak there. That'll help you line the hatch up straight. I like to start this screw, this initial screw, first and then pull the backing ring up against the base of the hatch and align the opening for the screw to the point of the screw that's exposed inside the hole now. Take my clutch down a little bit. Come in at the side of the hatch with this next one. And then go across the hatch to the other one on the side here. Once we're finished securing the backing ring to the base of the hatch with our screws, just close it and make sure it seals properly. And then you want to, after that, you want to come back up to the bow and relace this crisscross bungee. What I prefer to do is just go around the hooks at the back of these pad eyes here, and then I can easily open that up in the future if I want. And you can even do the same thing up here. Pinch it tight together at the center so you've got a little room to work with to create a knot. And just do a simple overhand knot here. With the hatch back here in the rear cargo deck, I'm going to go ahead and start the same way. Use my hole saw to create the opening, which will make it easier to start my cut with the jigsaw. I trace my backing ring here to start. Now I'm ready to begin my cut with the jigsaw. Confirm the fit of the hatch. It looks like we're sitting pretty with the fit there, so I'm going to take that away. Make sure you keep that backing, or that, make sure you keep the gasket in place, because that's going to go between the hatch and the deck to create a watertight seal. Go ahead and place the backing ring inside the hole. And we're going to use the same technique for installing the screws on this one. You want that T-handle to face the middle of the kayak. And I like to line this screw hole up right with this raised rib in the cargo deck there. Align one of the screw holes in the backing ring with the tip of the screw that's exposed inside the hole and get that one started. You can fasten that down most of the way. And then I'm going to come in at the side here. Fasten that down most of the way, and I'll come back at the very end and finish fastening everything up. Now that you've got this hatch properly installed, gasket in place between the hatch and the deck, and the backing ring fastened all the way snug up against the hatch base, you can reach in through this hatch and access the through bolting hardware for your power pole mounting bracket if you choose to install one of those here. Thanks for following along with our installation process involved with outfitting this Passport 12 with 3 upgraded hatches. If you're not comfortable with carrying out these upgrades on your own, you can always reach out to your local Hobie dealer, visit the Hobie website at hobie.com and click on where to buy. You can search for your local dealer by zip code. For other accessory installation videos related to your Passport 12 and other Hobie product, check out the Hobie YouTube channel or visit hobie.com.